You have been told it is just part of getting older. You have been handed a pamphlet, maybe a prescription, maybe both. But nobody, not one person in that examination room, sat down and said, here are 5 foods that are actively working against the inflammation in your prostate right now. That conversation ends today. Because if you are over 55 and you are dealing with the constant bathroom trips, the weak stream, the waking up at 2 a.m. and standing there waiting, your body is not broken. Your prostate is inflamed. And inflammation is something you can actually fight every single day, starting in your own kitchen. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 5 foods research has identified as prostate inflammation fighters, and you will know why they work, not just that they work. That knowledge is power. And you deserve it. My name is Dr. Marcus. I have spent over 20 years in medicine, and I have sat across from more men in their 60s and 70s than I can count. Men who were suffering, men who were embarrassed to talk about it, and men who were told to simply watch and wait. I am not here to tell you to watch and wait. What I am about to share with you is not in any pamphlet your urologist gave you, but it absolutely should be. Before we go any further, drop your age and city in the comments right now. I read every single one. I want to know who is watching today and where you are coming from. Let us start with something most men have never been told clearly. The prostate, that small gland sitting just below your bladder, roughly the size of a walnut, does not just grow as you age. That is the oversimplification you have been handed your whole life. What is actually happening inside that gland is a process called chronic low-grade inflammation. And inflammation is not mysterious. You already know what it looks like. You have sprained an ankle. It swelled, turned red, became painful. That is acute inflammation, the kind that protects you. But chronic inflammation is different. Think of it like a slow-burning fire inside the walls of your house. You cannot see the flames. The smoke alarm is not going off, but the structure is being damaged, quietly, persistently, day after day. That is what is happening in the prostate tissue of millions of men over 55 right now. Research published in leading urology journals has found a direct link between chronic prostatic inflammation and the symptoms you are living with: the urgency, the frequency, the incomplete emptying, the interrupted sleep. And while genetics plays a role, so does something you touch every single day: your food. What you eat can feed that inflammation, or it can fight it. Let me show you 5 foods that fight it. Before I get into the list, I want to tell you about a patient I will call Raymond. Raymond was 71 years old, retired electrician from the Midwest, married 44 years. He came to see me not because of the bathroom trips. He had been dealing with those for 7 years and had somehow made peace with them. He came because his sleep had completely collapsed. Up 4, 5 times a night, exhausted in the morning, falling asleep after lunch. His wife was worried. His children were calling every week. Raymond had seen 2 urologists. He was on a medication that helped a little, but nobody had ever talked to him about food. Not once. He ate well by most standards. No junk food, home-cooked meals, decent portions. But he was eating several foods every day that were actively pouring fuel on that slow-burning fire. We made 5 targeted changes to what Raymond was eating. Not a diet overhaul. Not a meal plan that cost a fortune. 5 specific foods, added consistently over 90 days. At his follow-up, Raymond told me something I have heard many times since, and it never gets old. He said, "I feel like someone turned the volume down." That is what reducing prostate inflammation feels like. Not a dramatic overnight cure, a quieting. A dialing down of the noise your body has been making for years. Raymond is why I am making this video, and his story is not unique. It can be yours. Let us get into the 5 foods. The first food is one you almost certainly already eat, but you are probably not eating it in the right form. Tomatoes. not fresh tomatoes from the salad bowl, though those have value too. I am talking specifically about cooked tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato sauce, the kind that comes in a can or a jar. Here's why this matters, and this is the science made simple. Inside tomatoes is a compound called lycopene. Lycopene is what gives tomatoes their deep red color. It is a powerful antioxidant. Think of antioxidants as the cleanup crew inside your body, moving through your tissues and neutralizing the damaging molecules that drive inflammation. Now here's the part almost nobody explains. When you eat a raw tomato, your body struggles to absorb much lycopene at all. The cell walls of the tomato trap it. But when you apply heat, when you cook that tomato, when you concentrate it into paste, those cell walls break down. The lycopene is released. Your body can actually use it. Research suggests that men who regularly consume cooked tomato products have meaningfully lower rates of prostate inflammation and prostate-related concerns compared to men who rarely eat them. Some studies have observed this benefit at just 2 to 4 servings per week. 2 to 4 servings per week. That is a bowl of tomato soup on Monday. That is a pasta with tomato sauce on Thursday. That is not a medical trial. That is dinner. Add olive oil to your cooked tomatoes. Research also suggests that lycopene absorption increases further when combined with a healthy fat. This is one case where drizzling olive oil on your food is genuinely medicinal. 2 servings of cooked tomatoes this week. That is where you begin. The second food is one your mother told you to eat, and she was more right than she knew. Broccoli. Specifically, broccoli and its close relatives, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, and cabbage. This family of vegetables is called cruciferous, which simply means they all share the same plant family and a very similar nutritional profile. Inside broccoli, there's a compound called sulforaphane. I will give you a moment to let that word go. You do not need to remember it. What you need to remember is what it does. Sulforaphane is one of the most studied anti-inflammatory compounds in nutritional medicine. Think of it as a master switch. When it enters your body, it triggers a cascade of protective responses at the cellular level. It essentially activates your body's own internal defense system against inflammation. Here is the counterintuitive part, and this is the part your doctor almost certainly has not had time to tell you. Sulforaphane is not actually present in the broccoli when you eat it. It is created in the moment you chew it. There are 2 separate compounds inside the broccoli cell walls that only combine and only form sulforaphane when those walls are broken by your teeth, by chewing. This means that how you eat your broccoli matters. Chopping it, chewing it thoroughly, and here's a trick, letting it sit for a few minutes after you chop it before you cook it actually maximizes how much sulforaphane your body produces. Also, do not overcook it. Boiling broccoli into mush destroys much of this benefit. Light steaming, roasting, or stir-frying for a few minutes, that is where the value lives. Aim for 3 to 4 servings of cruciferous vegetables per week. Half a cup of broccoli, lightly cooked. That is your target. The third food is one that I have recommended to nearly every patient I have ever treated for prostate-related concerns, and the evidence behind it is some of the strongest in this entire space. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, trout, herring. Inside these fish is something called omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These are the long-chain fats that your body needs but cannot manufacture in meaningful amounts on its own. You have to eat them. Here's how to understand what omega-3 does for your prostate. Think of inflammation like a thermostat set too high. Your body is running too hot. The temperature of internal inflammation is elevated, and it will not come down on its own. Omega-3 fatty acids are one of the most powerful natural thermostats known to science. Research suggests they work by interrupting the very chemical signals your body uses to generate and sustain inflammation. they do not just mask the symptoms, they interrupt the process upstream. Multiple large studies have found that men with higher omega-3 intake have significantly lower markers of systemic inflammation and lower rates of prostate enlargement and prostate-related symptoms compared to men with low omega-3 levels. Now here is the nuance most people miss. Not all fish is equal. Whitefish, cod, tilapia, catfish, these are fine, healthy foods, but they contain very little omega-3. The benefit I am describing is specific to the fatty varieties. If it is not oily, it is not delivering the same effect. 2 servings of fatty fish per week is what most research points to as the meaningful threshold. 2 servings, a piece of salmon on Tuesday, a tin of sardines on Friday. You are done. If you genuinely cannot eat fish, allergies, personal preference, access. A high-quality fish oil supplement containing at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily is a reasonable alternative. Always talk to your doctor before starting any supplement, particularly if you are on blood thinners, as omega-3 can have mild blood-thinning effects. Before I show you the final 2 foods, and the last one surprises almost every man I tell it to, I have one quick request. If this video is giving you information you have never heard before, if you feel like someone is finally sitting down and being genuinely honest with you about your health, please hit that subscribe button right now and share this video with someone you love, your brother, your son, your neighbor who you know is struggling with this and has never talked about it. One click from you could genuinely change someone else's health. I will be here. Now, let us finish this list. The 4th food, and I use the word food loosely because this is a drink, is one with thousands of years of use in traditional medicine and increasingly strong modern scientific backing. Green tea. Inside green tea is a family of compounds called catechins, particularly one called EGCG, which stands for epigallocatechin galate. Again, do not try to memorize that. What matters is what it does. EGCG is one of the most potent plant-based anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds that has been studied in relation to prostate health specifically. Multiple studies, including some published in major cancer research journals, have found that EGCG appears to slow the growth of abnormal prostate cells, reduce markers of prostate inflammation, and support normal prostate cell behavior. Think of it this way. Your prostate cells, like all cells in your body, are constantly receiving signals. Grow, divide, stop, die. These signals are chemical. EGCG appears to interfere with the signals that tell prostate cells to grow abnormally and uncontrollably. It is, in plain English, a cell behavior corrector. Here is the important practical detail. Green tea must be brewed, not from a bottle. Bottled green teas are typically processed in ways that destroy or dramatically reduce the EGCG content, and many contain sugar, which actively promotes inflammation, the opposite of what you want. Brew it from loose leaf or from a bag. 2 to 3 cups per day is what the research tends to point to as the meaningful dose. Let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes. Drink it without sugar or with just a small amount of honey if needed. One more thing. Green tea does contain caffeine. Not as much as coffee, but enough to matter if you are sensitive. If you find it disrupts your sleep, drink your green tea before 2 p.m. Evening green tea can be replaced with decaffeinated green tea, which retains most of the EGCG benefit. 2 to 3 cups. Brewed, not bottled. Start today. The 5th food is the one that surprises men most when I recommend it. It is not exotic. It is not expensive. You can buy it in most grocery stores for a few dollars. Pumpkin seeds. A small handful. Raw or lightly roasted. Unsalted if possible. Here's why these tiny seeds matter for your prostate. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of zinc in the food supply. And zinc is not just a mineral your immune system uses to fight colds. Zinc plays a very specific and well-documented role in prostate health. The prostate gland, under normal healthy conditions, contains the highest concentration of zinc of any organ in the human body. That is not a coincidence. Zinc is used actively by prostate tissue. Research has consistently found that men with prostate inflammation and prostate enlargement have significantly lower zinc levels in their prostate tissue compared to men with healthy prostates. Think of zinc like oil in an engine. Your prostate engine needs it to run smoothly. When the oil level drops, friction increases. Things start to grind. The engine overheats. That is what low zinc looks like in prostate tissue. Increased inflammation, increased dysfunction. Pumpkin seeds also contain phytosterols, plant-based compounds that research suggests may help slow the conversion of testosterone into a more potent form called DHT, which is one of the primary hormonal drivers of prostate enlargement. 1 to 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds per day is sufficient to meaningfully support zinc intake. Sprinkle them on your oatmeal in the morning. Add them to a salad. Eat them as a snack in the afternoon. That is it. That is the intervention. Simple, inexpensive, evidence-backed. Let me bring this together into something you can actually use starting this week. You do not need to do all of this perfectly from day one. You need to start. And here's a simple structure to begin. Day 1. Add 1 serving of cooked tomatoes to your next meal. Pasta with tomato sauce. Tomato soup. Tomato-based stew. Add a drizzle of olive oil. That is your lycopene delivery for the day. Day 2. At lunch or dinner, include a small portion of lightly steamed or roasted broccoli. Half a cup is enough. Do not boil it to mush. Chop it. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Then cook it quickly. Day 3. Brew yourself 2 cups of green tea. Use bags or loose leaf. Steep for 4 minutes. No sugar. 3 times this week. Eat a portion of fatty fish. Salmon is your easiest option. It is widely available. It freezes well, and it is quick to cook. A portion the size of your palm. That is all you need. Every single day. Eat 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds. Put them somewhere visible. On your kitchen counter, next to the coffee maker. Habit placement is everything. That is 5 changes, 5 foods. Some of them you may already eat occasionally. The goal is to make them regular, consistent, weekly habits rather than occasional choices. Your body does not respond to what you eat once. It responds to what you eat repeatedly. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. And you do not need to start with all 5 tomorrow. Start with 1. The one that felt most accessible to you today. Add the next one next week. That is how healing begins. 1 change at a time. Your prostate has been working for you for more than 5 decades. It has not given up on you. It is not beyond help. It is inflamed. And inflammation can be addressed. That is the truth your body has been waiting for you to act on. You have the knowledge now. You have the plan. The kitchen is the most powerful pharmacy you own. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, which of these 5 foods are you already eating regularly, and which one surprised you most? I personally read every single comment on this channel. Your story, your experience, might be exactly what another man watching this video needs to see to take his first step. And if you want to keep going, subscribe and stay with me. Because in my next video, I am going to reveal the 5 foods that are silently making prostate inflammation worse. And at least 2 of them are things most men over 55 eat every single day thinking they are being healthy. That video could be the missing piece you have been looking for. I will see you there. I am Dr. Marcus, and this is Dr. Marcus Med Show. Goodbye.